defense, and I think armor and health. I've gone over these three. Missile Cav, that's for sure. They have Greek Beehive Onager and the same artillery overall. Strengths lie in their foot companions. These are their key unit, and for the Selucids, their key unit varies. When it comes to melee infantry, it's Silver Shield Swordsmen because Royal Peltas are good, but a bunch of Hellenic factions have them. Spear has shields, shield bearers, Silver Shields Pikemen for these guys. Shock have a bunch of factions, and then elephants, it's usually Syrian armored elephants if you have the Beasts of War DLC. Strengths for this faction are good pike units. Their weakness just lies in their lack of melee infantry. I mean, they have good cav overall. They can go toe to toe with some barbarian factions, especially with Aspis Companion cav rather than Citizen cav. And that's about it for Macedon. Move over to Egypt. I consider Egypt as the most cost-effective faction in the game. Like, they have both Egyptian and Greek units, and that's just because of Alexander the Great. They also have the cheapest general unit, Carian Axemen. These guys are weak overall. They're like your low tier axe unit, but they can throw spears, like your spears, which is nice. (28) melee attack, 26 weapon damage, nothing special about them. They're 45 armor, 55 health, 40 morale. The only thing that's special about them is that they're a general unit. Hellenic Royal Guard I've went over. Royal Thorax Swordsmen. They're the second high tier version of Thorax Swordsmen. These guys are the Royal variant. They're just a better version of Thorax Swordsmen overall, that's it. 46 melee attack, 40 weapon damage, no bonus versus infantry, 27 charge, 64 melee defense, 80 armor, 65 health, 70 morale. Ptolemaic Cav are like companion Cav. They are better when it comes to melee attack. However, they lack the same charge bonus and melee defense. 55 melee attack, 25 weapon damage, 10 bonus versus large, 63 charge, 22 melee defense, 60 armor, 100 health, and 70 morale. I've gone over Scythe Chariots as well as African War Elephants if you play as Carthage. Move over to Egyptian infantry, melee infantry. They have Egyptian infantry, which are a cheap, slightly non-cost effective unit. They're good for cannon fodder, I guess. They're a really weak unit. Like, they have 14 melee attack, which would put them on par with a spear unit. Even their weakest spear unit is stronger than Egyptian infantry. 14 melee attack, 24 weapon damage, nothing special, 55 armor, 45 health, 30 morale. Cannon fodder, but again, they probably could buy you some time if they're going up against a low tier spear unit. Carian Axemen I've gone over, Galatian Swordsmen I've gone over. Soviet Cultists, you can only get these guys with the Beasts of War DLC. They're a weak unit in combat, but they do have a purpose. 36 melee attack, 36 weapon damage, 22 charge, 61 melee defense, 55 armor, 55 health, 60 morale, and they have the Scare Everyone ability, which no other unit in Egypt's roster has. That's what really their main purpose. They add the fear factor into Egypt's roster. Thorax Swordsmen I've gone over these two. However, I've not gone over Galatian Royal Guard. The Galatians don't have these because these guys are mercenaries. The Galatians were known to be, very effective mercenary units. Like, they had the best mercenaries in the East when it comes to aggressiveness. 50 melee attack, 45 weapon damage, 32 charge, 69 melee defense, 75 armor, 65 health, 70 morale. These guys have 5 less armor than Holdsworn, but are more vicious in combat. So they're pretty good against Holdsworn, really. Pardon me if I sound stuffy. I don't know what I have right now. Spear infantry, Nubian spearmen. They have 25 melee attack, 25 weapon damage, 20 bonus versus large. Nothing really special about these guys, except that they have rapid advance. They have 45 armor, 55 health, and 50 morale. Levy Theros spears are a weaker version of Theros spears. They still throw the same javelins, but are weaker in combat, and that's really all you need to know about them. They have 19 melee attack, 25 weapon damage, 20 bonus versus large, 45 armor, 50 health, 40 morale. Kushite Shield Woman you can only get with the Daughters of Mars DLC. They are, I guess, about as effective in combat as Theros spears. They both have counter cavalry tactics. However, actually no, Theros spears don't. Kushite Shield Women do, and they also have rapid advance. 27 melee attack, 25 weapon damage, 20 bonus versus large, 20 charge, 47 melee defense, 45 armor, 50 health, and 60 morale. Leopard Warriors, however, are a stronger spear unit. They have 36. You can only get these guys with the Beasts of War DLC, I'm sure. Let me just check. Yeah. Can only get them with the Beasts of War DLC. 36 melee attack, 25 weapon damage, 20 bonus versus large, 30 charge, 55 melee defense, 45 armor, 55 health, 65 morale. They also have frenzied charge. When it comes to pikes, again they have pike infantry. Egyptian pikemen, which are slightly weaker when it comes to melee attack, I believe, against the levy pikes. They cost 20 talents less. They have 30 melee attack, 20 weapon damage, 4 charge, 15 melee defense, 50 armor, 50 health, and 30 morale. These guys tend to rout pretty quickly if they get hit in the back. Pikemen have gone over, Thorax pikemen, and Hellenic Royal Guard. Egypt has a selection of missile infantry that other factions don't. I mean, they're about the same. They have the same stats, just have a different name. So Egyptian slingers, 20 missile damage, nothing special really. 20 health, 20 armor, 45 health, 25 morale. Egyptian archers, 35 missile damage, 10 armor, 45 health, 25 morale. Javelins, 32 missile damage, 15 armor, 45 health, 25 morale. Nubian bowmen are a better version of Egyptian archers. 35 missile damage, 150 range, 6 shots per minute, 10 armor, 50 health, 35 morale. Then the rest of the units I've gone over already. Shakav I've gone over. They have camel spearmen for the first unit in their melee cav roster is camel spearmen, and the only unit that's new is Egyptian cav. They're a nice unit. They have decent armor, 45 melee attack, 25 weapon damage, 15 bonus versus large, 29 charge, 38 melee defense, 50 armor, 80 health, 40 morale. They have less morale than Citizen Cav, but are resistant to heat. Missile Cav I've gone over. Chariots I've gone over. I've gone over elephants, and they have less. They do not have the polybolos like most Greek factions do, or Hellenic factions. Strengths and weaknesses. Strength is their variety of melee infantry, as well as pretty good spear infantry. They also have cost-effective units. Their Egyptians tend to be the most cost-effective, but you can also go with Nubian Spearmen, Levitherios, and whatnot. Pretty good melee cav overall. Their weakness, oh, they have chariots and elephants like the Selucids. Boy. Their weakness lies in their how low the morale is for the Egyptians. Again, chariots and elephants are tempting to bring, but are not the best. They don't have the same synergy as, infantry and elephants or infantry and chariots. They lack shock cav. I mean, Ptolemaic cav are good, but at the same time, you probably want to bring a less costly unit that still has good charge. Egypt doesn't have that. And that's about it for Egypt. Moving over to the last faction, which is an Eastern Empire, Pontus. Used to like Pontus a lot. I mean, they still have the same roster overall. Haven't changed much. So this will be quick. Pontic swordsmen are a weaker variation of Parthian swordsmen. 37 melee attack, 34 weapon damage. No bonus versus infantry, 18 charge, 55 melee defense, 75 armor, 50 health, and 50 morale. That's the first general unit. Then you have bronze shield pikemen, which are a weaker version of silver shield pikemen. They do carry bronze shields in battle, which probably is why they have less armor. 43 melee attack, 24 weapon damage, 11 charge, 33 melee defense, 65 armor, 60 health, 65 morale. Pontic Royal Cav are their best shock cav. They have 46 melee attack, 25 weapon damage, 10 bonus versus large, 76 charge, 17 melee defense, oh my god, 60 armor, 100 health, 70 morale. Chariots are chariots. Move over to melee infantry. They have 2 barbaric units and two regulars. Hillmen, Celtic warriors, which are better than Gallic warriors, obviously. Naked swords. I mentioned this before, and I'll mention it again. What other faction has naked swords? The Arverni don't have naked swords. They have naked warriors. Boy. Not boy. Is it Glacia? Yes. Glacia has naked swords, but they cost 100 more than the Pontic version. However, the Pontic version, you can only bring 3. But they have the same stats, which is weird. It's just weird, because they have the same stats. And I don't have to go over them. But they cost 100 less. And I went over swordsmen. Spears, I've gone over these 3. Nothing special. I've gone over these pikes. The only new missile infantry that I have to go over is this one, Pontic Peltasts. I can't remember these guys being in here before Emperor Edition, but they probably were. They have 41 missile damage, 80 range, basically the regular high tier javelin unit. They have 65 armor, 50 health, 40 morale. Gone over shock cav. I've gone over all of these cav. Cappadocians, the Galatians have them as mercenaries. Noble blood cav, the Armenians and not Persians, Parthians have them. Scythian horse archers I've gone over. Horse skirmishers I've gone over. Artillery, they have the pot ballista. And fixed artillery is fixed. No, they do not have polybolos because they are more of an eastern faction. Strengths, they have a nice selection of melee infantry, even though it's just 4 units. The reason being is just because they rely more on, well, their key unit is their bronze shield pikemen, but you don't have to bring them. For Egypt, it's usually Galatian Royal Guard because Doriac swordsmen